Hi, everybody. It's Kendrick from Providence Tarot. So, I did the weeklies for IG, and they will get posted. But I thought that I would do a live weekly, and I know they're late. Please excuse me, I'm sorry. I've had a lot of clients this week. Pilates wise, I've done a lot of classes, and that's physically exhausting, and this can be as well, especially doing them both at the same time. But I love doing it, and they're both very spiritual and holistic, homeopathic. But I'm going to do the weeklies here extended because I'm using a new deck that I just got from Shanti, which is where I read on Sundays. I read there from 12 to 5 ish. Its address is 230 East 14th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues, and I read there on Sundays with another reader. His name is Ariel Vega. Okay? And he's a healer and also a tarot reader. The deck that I am using is an oracle deck, an oracle astrology deck. It's called the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. I always called it the Oracle of the Golden Sun. But this is what the front cover looks like, and this is also what the box looks like, okay? And it's astrology, so it talks about the planets in a sign. So it gives you all of the different aspects, okay? Um, yeah, there we go. So I'm going to start with the card that's at the bottom of the deck for everyone this week, and this is versatility, okay? And this is the sun in Gemini. So it's talking about creativity, it's talking about the formation of ideas, the understanding of what is perceived, what is received from the formation of those ideas. Okay, this is what the card looks like. It's talking about adaptability as well, being able to be flexible within your environment, making changes where changes need to be made. If you have the day off and you were planning on doing something at a certain time and that thing has to be done earlier or later, let that happen. You know what I mean? If you were going to plan to go somewhere specific for dinner and now someone wants to go somewhere else, let that happen. The capabilities, changing things up allows you to see where many things can happen. You know what I mean? And where your abundance lies. It's finding the abundance in life through your ability to see many things as being valuable, okay, to your experience, right? And then being aware and being connected as well. This is talking about networking, and are you networking with the right people, right? To get what you need out of life. You know what I mean? And it's not talking about, just being an opportunist, right? But it is being aware of your opportunity. Everything is an opportunity. Life is an opportunity. You know what I mean? Are you just going to sit there and not take advantage of things that you were meant for you to take advantage of? Are you going to let the fruit drop from the tree and rot on the ground? You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. Okay? So this is understanding where you fit in. Okay, it's getting out there and being involved, right? So some of you need to be a little bit more involved. Some of you need to speak your mind, right? Some of you need to say what it is that you feel like is important for other people to hear, that type of thing. Some of you might be dealing with that. This is a 3, so this is related to Venus, right? Esoterically, Gemini is ruled by Venus, okay? And that's number 3 in the tarot. And that's talking about multiplicity, duplicity, anything, and everything, right? Everything is everything. Definitely, Lauren Hill. So we're thinking about that. Some of you need to think about your body and how you treat it, what you put into it, who you allow around it and in it. Wait. Okay, so that's the intro, and here we go with Aries at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Hopefully that's going to be, where it needs to be time-wise. I know there's a little bit of lapse in time here sometimes with these lives. I'm leaning in because I really want to give you guys a good picture of these cards because they are beautiful, and I'm so glad that I got this deck, and I'm going to be reading more with this. I love astrology, okay? And I love astronomy as well. So, Aries, man, you got Venus and Libra, which is indecision. Okay. There is a need to build confidence through crucial, right? Critical thinking is crucial in building one's character, in building one's network of friends, in building one's emotional awareness for how you respond to what it is that is going on around you. You know what I mean? So you have to make those choices to express. You need to know where you're going when you're making this choice, right? So you need to practice more assertion here, okay? You need to stop thinking about all of the different possibilities and understand where the probabilities are, what actually is probably going to happen. You know, you need to understand what you want to happen, right? Because this is unlike you. This is out of character for you, and this is kind of like you not knowing what to do about something, and you feel like time is kind of the essence, and you need to know what you're going to do, right? The sevens also talk about conflict as well, and the conflict is why you're unable to make a decision right now, because you're conflicted in your head, right? You want to be fair, and you also want everybody to get what they want. You know what I mean? And this is talking about you not being able to please everybody right now. So you probably should stop trying to please everybody right now and just think about what it is that needs to be done in order to see things unfold. You know what I mean? Because this is talking about victory and getting to a goal, but it is also talking about being fair to yourself. You know what I mean? So stop thinking about what everyone else needs, okay? Because this is a seven, and think about what it is that is best. You know, because everybody might have their opinion or their say about what it is that you should do, right? And what it is that you should decide, but the decision is really for you. Okay, you're being nice. You're being too nice, Aries, and letting other people kind of like get in there and be very like socially responsible in your life. Or like it's almost like people are like, giving you their opinion and they feel like you should value that, right? Because Libra is talking about checks and balances and the value within making certain decisions. You know what I mean? Like, are you making a decision for you? Are you giving me this advice so that you can win? Or are you giving this advice so that everyone can win? Are you thinking about what's best for me in this situation? Or are you just thinking about what's best for you? You know what I mean? Everyone can't always be happy, but you always have to think about, how you can make everyone happy. And that's what it is. You're going through a conflict right now and being able to make a decision because you can't make everyone happy and you know you can't make everybody happy, Aries. And that's what I'm saying. So just make the decision. You won't be able to make everyone happy. Okay, and here we go with Taurus at 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch this over and put these timelines in. So if anybody wants to timestamp this, I'll give you a past, present, and future reading free on a link. Okay, so whoever timestamps it first. And we can figure that out. We'll communicate. So Taurus, your card is concentration, and it's also a 3, so it's related to this Sun and Gemini energy. But this is Saturn and Gemini. Saturn is the ruler of time, and Saturn is talking about difficulties and challenges in making decisions that are going to reform something or that are going to change something. You don't want to feel a change. So you are having difficulty concentrating and making, the decisions that are going to, lead to the change. It's almost like you're distracted from the work, okay? So if this isn't talking about change, you're distracted from the work, okay? So it's almost kind of like frivolous things or things of unimportance are kind of getting into your environment, right? Okay, hold on. Let me give you a look at this card. It's kind of like things of unimportance are getting into your environment, and there are all of these thoughts that are coming in, people, distractions, right? Other people, what they're saying. It might be like social media might be a distraction for you right now. and just probably trying to like get your business off the ground or do something business wise, do something with money, you know. This also talks about gradually, right? So over time, you feel like you've probably lost your concentration in something or your ability to actually see something um, see something happen. You know what I mean? It's like building something, seeing something connect, right? You might not be saying what it is that you need to say right now, right? Because I feel like you might be restricted. You might be feeling restricted in what you're able to say because Saturn restricts you, right? And Gemini is talking about verbalization. So you might be feeling like people are trying to like keep you quiet about something, or you might be feeling like you don't have the authority to say something right now that you feel like you want to say. So it's distracting you and it's making you feel like you can't concentrate, or you're concentrating on something. You might be focused on something because, Gemini in the third house is talking about focusing on something, and Saturn definitely wants to focus on something, but Saturn wants to get things done and it wants to assert itself and it wants it to be the one that does it. Okay, so somebody might be making you, restricting you right now in terms of what you're able to say, who you're able to speak with, talk to, or maybe you can't get past one person to get to another person, and that's what you feel like is getting to you. But definitely saying don't get distracted by everything that's going on around you in your environment, right? You know what I mean? You don't have to get involved in everything, okay? So just concentrate on what it is that you need to get done, right? Your work, okay? And definitely, make the effort too, right? You might have to like really focus and buckle down. All right, Taurus, so that's you. Gemini, you are dealing with Mars in Capricorn energy. Okay, and Mars is exalted in Capricorn, and this is talking about work. And this is talking about the appreciation of something, right? And how the growth of something is leading you to feel very energetic, enthusiastic. You're feeling focused, and you want to work, right? I feel like you're doing the work, you're getting a lot done, and you're reaping the benefits of the work and seeing yourself really step up to the plate. You know what I mean? This is the identification of a purpose, okay, Gemini? And, when Mars is in Capricorn, he is building things. It's the craftsmanship, okay? Time is involved here too. So you might not be making yourself go too fast. You're considering, what needs to actually be done for this process to be more efficient, okay? So you're thinking about efficiency, which is good for you, Gemini. The sun is in your sign, and we got that card for everybody. Anyway, and this is also luxuriating in the work as well. You might be luxuriating in your work, really seeing where you're benefiting from your work. You're getting a lot out of the experience in terms of learning from other people and learning from yourself. I feel like it's quite spiritual as well. You know what I mean? Because Mars is really understanding who you are and that you have so much potential to be a better version of yourself. Okay, and Mars is the self. Okay, and Capricorn is definitely wanting to season you. Capricorn wants to season you to be, even stronger, fortified, right? Unbreakable, that type of thing. So you are, you're casting. You're casting. You know how cast iron it gets better over time as you use it and you heat it up. You know what I mean? All kinds of things. It's like season. Okay, you're getting seasoned, Gemini, which is good. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to Cancer at 14 minutes and 20 seconds. So, Cancer, my darlings, you got the moon in Cancer, which is your god. The moon rules Cancer, and the moon is talking about receptivity, okay? It could be in terms of children, right? That type of thing. This could be pregnancy. The moon is talking about cycles, evolutions, right? It's also talking about your body and how how it goes through changes, right? This is the friendship card. Some of you guys might need to get out there and allow yourself to be nurtured by sharing experiences with other people. Don't stay inside. Don't become, zoned into your home. You need to get out there and experience the abundance that awaits you. Silver is also involved in this card because these are the alchemical symbols for silver here on both sides. So some of you probably need to wear silver. You know what I mean? If you have a silver piece of jewelry, wear it, close to your body. Or if you have stones that have traces of silver in those, carry those with you. This is talking about playfulness as well, optimism, and the hope in anything that comes to you is an opportunity to seize. You know what I mean? The four is talking about asserting a part of yourself, to get out there and see and start the adventure, right? Because the fourth house is Cancer, but also the fourth month is Aries, and that's or not the yeah, the fourth month is Aries. That's April. So yeah, you might even be dealing with an Aries, but you're probably just kind of like making an effort to enjoy yourself a little bit more because you need to for your own health. You know what I mean? That type of thing. And you're making new friends. You know what I mean? You're asserting yourself and you're making new friends because you know that, we all have these different phases in our life and different people come in at different times, right? And different friends are meant to show you different aspects of yourself at different parts of your life. You know what I mean? And this is also kind of like you feeling your friends' emotions, right? You might be tapping into to them. You might just be feeling a little bit more emotionally aware of other people, right? And what they might be feeling too. But it's very receptive, and I feel like this is really good for you, Cancer. Get out there and be that person that you are because other people will appreciate you. That's why I was talking about, the identity and not becoming emotionally complacent about things. You know what I mean? Because you are a spiritual being and you are very valuable to other people's life. And I feel like you should understand that and get out there, see those people. Okay? All right. So, Leo, your card is control. And this is Jupiter in Capricorn. So, this is talking about, not being too aggressive in your need to prove yourself or, you know, uh, go out there and like just kind of like reach for things. Don't be thirsty, don't be a reacher, that type of thing. Also, actually don't be drinking too much, don't do too many drugs, stay focused for sure because sometimes with Jupiter and Capricorn, you might become overwhelmed by some of the choices that you have made. You know what I mean? So this is saying, really learn what it is to cope and learn what it is to deal, and also protect yourself from unhealthy people and unhealthy situations for sure. This is you being aware of where maybe there might be risks that lie outside of your comfort zone or outside of a situation or circumstance that you yourself have put yourself in. You know what I mean? Because this Jupiter puts itself in situations, right? Because it goes off so that it can learn from its situation. Hey, good morning, Mary Jane. I'm on Leo right now. So Leo is talking about control. And also, just to add, I'm using a different deck. It's the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, okay? It's an astrology card deck. Okay, I love astrology. So this is an unboxing for me. So I'm taking my time and I'm trying to really like be, I don't know, clear. And there are symbols on these cards that I don't know. Some of them I do, but this card has some symbols on it. Okay. Control. That is what we're talking about. Understanding where you need to involve yourself and where you need to not involve yourself. You know what I mean? Because you might be doing a little bit with a lot right now, and some of these things that might be getting in your way or might be presenting themselves to you that might be tempting might just be weighing you down, or it might just bring you out of a place where you might have been feeling like you were good. You know what I mean? So don't allow things to come in that are going to be getting in the way of what it is that you have accomplished or what it is that you are trying to accomplish. You know what I mean? So this is saying that you've gotten past a phase right now. You may not know that, but you have gotten past a phase here. And you know, there's you can only, you're on the way up. You know what I mean? You're on the way up, and I need you to just stay tapped into your purpose and whatever it is that you are doing right now. You know what I mean? If you were making some decisions, just stand firm in making those decisions that you have made, and also realize that you don't want to get too irate about something. Okay, I'm gonna move on, Leo, because that's it for you. And I've said that, if you timestamp this, the first person that timestamps this reading, I will give you a past, present, and future reading free with these cards. And just comment and put the timestamps in there. So now we're going to move on to Virgo, and we're moving on to Virgo at 21 minutes. Okay, so Virgo, you have a choice to make because you have Mars in Libra. This is like very opposite the energy of Aries. So you might be dealing with an Aries with this Mars here, or you might be dealing with the Libra. Okay? So this card is talking about making choices and being assertive in making those choices. You know what I mean? You might be trying to see yourself get somewhere in making this choice. It's talking about fairness as well. And it's also talking about the ability to see where the importance of this choice, making this choice, lies. You know what I mean? You are the authority in making this choice, and you are standing firm in that knowing, right? Mars is also, aggression and the awareness of something, right? The impetus to do something. And Libra is the seventh house of relationships. So this might have to do with a love relationship, or this might have to do with a business relationship. You know what I mean? Or this could do with, a relationship that you might have with yourself. Okay. Mars in Libra is kind of like, that's territory that's a little bit sensitive, because Mars comes into Libra and it kind of like excites things and shakes things up. So this might have added a level of excitement to the relationship, good or bad. Okay, Virgo. And then, there's some choices that may have been made that were very definitive, or someone could be making a definitive choice about a relationship that has caused the relationship to change. Okay, because Libra is a house of change and Mars is a planet of change. So this is a concept of change, right? And a turning over of something. This is understanding what something really is, and then, making the moves to honor that change that has occurred. Okay. You guys might be putting yourself in a relationship. You might be getting involved in a new relationship. You might actually be presenting yourself to someone with the idea of starting a relationship, because Mars starts things and Libra is relationships. So a new relationship might be starting, or one might have ended, because Mars is also destruction as well. You know what I mean? So there's a few things going on in this card as well. I love these. I love these. I'm going in with these. I love them. I'm going to be obsessed with these cards. Libra, we're moving on to you at 23 minutes and 55 seconds, give or take. You have protection, which is the moon in Aries, which is interesting. You might be dealing with a Virgo, okay? Or you might even be dealing with an Aries. You could even be dealing with Gemini energy. or any sign that might be ruled by the moon. But this is the moon in Aries, and this is talking about, the awareness of how you're going to have to protect your own emotions. You might even be feeling like a warrior right now in terms of like, how you are protecting yourself. You are doing whatever it takes, you know what I mean, to protect yourself. The moon is a nurturing energy of the mother, right? And the mother protects, right? And this is you protecting yourself because Aries is the self, right? Um, you might even be knowing like where people who may not have your best interest are, right? You might be getting that energy. You might even be intuitively knowing where the predators are. You know what I mean? So you're kind of like staying back from those. You're keeping quiet, right? You're walking softly, definitely, and you're being very careful with who you put yourself around because you know that there are people out there and there are things out there that don't have your best interest and would like to consume you. You know what I mean? It's definitely understanding where safety lies and where you can keep yourself safe. You know, be aware of people that are that look good, right? Because there's the cat on this card. I'll show you. Right now, my cards are going to be burned so I can get them close. Right? So, this is you staying away and staying out of the danger zone. Okay, Libra? Definitely understanding that you need to stay out of the danger zone. Even if it is someone that is, kind of alpha and kind of hot and kind of, dominating, it's like you definitely need to just stay in your own place, right? Because we have that full moon in Sagittarius coming up, and that's very much this energy of the tiger. Sagittarius is a progression from Leo. Leo represents this tigress type of energy, right? But it's the fire. It's like you not getting that moon in that fire, right? I mean, it's there. So the moon has to be extra careful. It has to be extra protective of itself. It's almost like you've even got, the blinds down or something like that. Um, you know, Also, Aries is, your sexual energy too. And the moon is kind of sensualized, right? It can be sensual. So, sensuality and, sexual instinct, right? They don't necessarily always go together at the same time. So, this is kind of like somebody might want to be, you know, primal with you, but you know that you can't go there with them because you have to protect yourself. Or maybe, if there is some element of sexual desire here and sexual energy that is expressed, right? Because Aries is expression, then don't get emotionally attached. Okay? Anyway, let me continue to move on, honey. These are wonderful. I'm going to really be studying these. Scorpio, at 27 minutes and 50 seconds, you're talking about risk here. You have Saturn in Aries. Now, Saturn in Aries is kind of like a difficult placement just because Saturn wants to go slow and Aries wants to go fast. Now, Saturn being in Aries is saying that Saturn might have to act quickly. You might have to act quickly at any moment in a situation that you were feeling comfortable in. It's like you were feeling comfortable, but then something happened that made you have to get on your toes. So this is talking about you having to be on your toes about something. It might involve business, right? It might involve, just being aware of where an opportunity lies or where, danger might lie in a situation for you, Scorpio. Also, let me give you a look at this card because it is risky, right? It's Saturn in Aries. Okay, so this is somebody that's walking comfortably, but at any moment, danger could pop up. You know what I mean? So you might just being a little bit paranoid as well over the risks that you might be taking in a situation, in a scenario. You know, this is saying that you need to pack light. You know that Erica Badu's song Bag Lady? I don't know why it's coming up because she does say pack light in that song. Um, don't take too much money with you. You know that you have the risk of spending too much money at some point, then don't. You know, leave that credit card at home, perhaps, right? Only take cash with you on vacation or something like that. Only take a specific amount of money with you. Also, this is saying like be careful of where you leave your keys. Be careful of where you leave your wallet, right? Because there's going to be people that are aware of where they can take advantage or they can take an opportunity. I know, Scorpio, look. I don't know why I'm telling you this because you're always thinking about some shit like this. Like, oh, I need to be aware of people. They're out to get me. I get it. I know. Because sometimes I don't even want to share things with people when I'm reading them. Because I'm like, who are you? So crazy. But I have Scorpio in my first house and Pluto. But definitely, Scorpio, understand where the risks lie in a situation that you might be involving yourself in. You know what I mean? Or maybe you might see the risk in a situation over time or over a period of time. You know what I mean? So just equip yourself, be well equipped, and be definitely aware of your surroundings. Okay. All right, Scorpio. Now we're going to move on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, adaptability is your card, and this is the moon in Gemini. So you, just like Taurus, got a Gemini card, okay? So this is being able to change things up, which you are used to. But this is opposing energy because you are Sag and this is Gemini. And we have the Sun in Gemini here at the under the deck for everyone, right? Which is talking about versatility. It's talking about choices. It's talking about communication. It's talking about the different methods of communication and different voices that you can get out there, right? And that's opposing your moon that's coming up in Sag, right? But this is moon in Gemini, so this is still opposing energy from you, but it's related to what's going on now. Okay. But anyway, the moon is talking about evolution. It's talking about cycles. It's talking about, security through these cycles of emotional evolution, right? And being able to stay on your toes and not being too affected by, where logic might make sense for you. You know what I mean? Everything doesn't have to always be logical. Sometimes you can go with your feelings in a situation. You know what I mean? You are understanding where like the risk might be involved, you know what I mean, and allowing yourself to change things up at any given time. But you are mutable, just like Gemini is. But you kind of like want to get a lot of things done. This is saying that you may not be able to get like those huge things done, but you can get those little things done, right? So if you felt like you were trying to get to a certain place, maybe you need to get things done in the place that you are in now before you get to that place. You know what I mean? Because if you look at this card, this is kind of feeling restricted by your emotions or by the feelings that you might have about a situation, right? You might be feeling like emotionally affected that you don't have a choice. You know what I mean? Or this is seeing like where you might be challenged in, making a choice, right? Because Gemini is talking about the awareness of the choices and what the possibilities are. You know what I mean? And the moon is going through that and being affected by those choices and by those possibilities. The moon is talking about getting close, right? It likes to stay close and at home. And Gemini likes to get out there and see things and not be bored, right? So this is kind of like you being taken out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? And you just need to allow this to happen. Because look, this person is definitely outside of their comfort zone here, right? I feel. Okay? And it's like they don't have anywhere to go. But this person is giving them all of these options of what to do, right? Showing you all of the different possibilities. But you feel restricted because you want to see something else happen. You know what I mean? But the moon in Gemini is a very difficult energy because the moon in Gemini is confusing sometimes, you know? And it doesn't know what to do about the way that it feels, right? And it tries to make logical choices and decisions when emotions are at play, and emotions aren't logical, right? You can't explain them, they just happen, right? And there's no reasoning for them, right? So you have to be able to adapt to that, right? Allow yourself to go with the flow and not be so direct. Okay, so Capricorn, you got ostentation. Okay, so this is Saturn in Taurus. And Taurus is talking about status quo, it's talking about, elegance as well. And Taurus is also talking about comfort, right? Comfort levels, security, okay, and making choices, right? In terms of producing that security for yourself, going out there and doing the work, right? This is also, you might be relying on yourself, yeah, to make things right for you, make things comfortable for you, make things better for you. This is also, Saturn is teaching you a lesson in terms of like being too involved in what others might think of you, or too involved in what others might be trying to, I don't know, show you. It's almost like, that status quo energy, that kind of like the Joneses type of energy, keeping up with type of energy. You know what I mean? And it's like, don't involve yourself in what other people have going on, because it's only going to deter you from what you have to do for yourself. Because Saturn is talking about self-reliance, and Taurus is kind of like, it relies on others as well. It relies on others, other people. You know what I mean? To add to the atmosphere and add to the environment that it is in, to make it more comfortable and enjoyable, right? But Saturn also is control, and Taurus is control too. So this is you probably trying to control something too much, or maybe you are slowing down a process because of your need to control it, right? Maybe you don't want to be taken out of your comfort zone, but that's the lesson here. You're being pushed and you're being, influenced to get taken out of your comfort zone, okay? I feel like that's what's happening with you, Capricorn. All right, let me go ahead and move on to Aquarius. Aquarius at 37 minutes and 35 seconds. You got drama, which is Mercury and Leo. And this is a natal placement that Wendy Williams actually has. And with Mercury, Mercury likes to connect, right? And Leo likes to be the center of attention, right? Mercury is talking about things, and Leo is doing things, showing things, right? Being things. It's talking about passion, it's talking about drive, it's talking about energy. It's talking about children and childlike things, jovial things, because it is Mercury. And then Leo loves children. But this is somebody talking about something that isn't really their business. You know what I mean? This could also just be like stirring the pot, perhaps. Right? It's drama, definitely. I think that if you are saying things about someone else, or you are bringing light to a situation, or you are bringing, everyone's awareness to something, maybe you're talking to your friends about some drama, or maybe you're inciting some drama because of something that you said, or maybe a friend said something, or maybe you caught wind of something that someone said, right, or did, because the sun is talking about action, right, and the sun actually rules Leo. So someone could have been actively saying things that stirred the pot that caused drama amongst friends, Aquarius. Or it could really just be you thinking too much, right? And making drama for yourself. You know what I mean? Perhaps. I'm going to move on because I feel like that's it for you. Pisces, you got Sun in Pisces, so this is vision. You might be using your intuition to make certain decisions and choices for yourself. There's definitely something more to be revealed here. So this is something extensive and insightful for you. 12 is, creativity. It's the awareness of choices and where you have to draw the line in order to get from one place to another, right? So some of you are going from one place to another in your dreams, right? Or you could just be kind of like envisioning, a different way that things could possibly be, because 12 is a 3 and it's related to versatility, adaptability, multiplicity, right? Duplication, multiplication. Duplication definitely is a 2, right? So you are aware of where you can kind of like get more of an understanding or get more information from a source that isn't going to be very direct, right? It's like this information isn't coming from a person, it's just coming from your divine inspiration, right? So you are receiving answers, right? Because you are aware of something, okay? And the 2 is talking about things being revealed through choices, right? So you're aware of something through making choices, or you're aware of something through things being revealed to you, okay? So then you make choices based on those things that are being revealed to you, okay? Because you're aware that this information is actually quite useful because you can feel it in your spirit, right? It's on a very like crown chakra level, third eye level. You know, and it's adapting to your emotions and also not being um, too emotionally reactive, right? To what you don't know. You know what I mean? Because I'm feeling like, there might be some things that you don't know, and so you're kind of like you're having these feelings about things that may not actually be true. They might just kind of bleed. They might just be bleeding into your mind. You know what I mean? It's kind of like your feelings are hemorrhaging because there's so many of them. It's like that type of thing. And the sun is just putting energy and more energy into something. And so I feel like you might be having like a psychic overload, or there's something overdrive, you know what I mean? But your visions are being illuminated to you in a way that's causing you to realize something, right? Because look, as soon as this fox got to the water, it had to look over and say, "Did you see that? Did you feel that too?" I don't know if my camera's blurry. I'm gonna have to make sure that I'm wiping this down before I even start these videos. I'm sorry. But you see, that's beautiful. It's like, whoa, I feel that. I see that, right? It's like three eyes, or three sets of eyes. One, two, and three. Your third eye. They all is looking off in the same direction. Okay? So they're all seeing something. Okay? So we're all dealing with versatility, right? And allowing ourselves to see ourselves in many different ways. Aries, you're dealing with indecision. Taurus, you're dealing with concentration, right? Gemini, you're dealing with authority issues, right? That might be good or bad. This is a good one, right? You're getting work done. Cancer, you're thinking about friendship. Are you emotionally complacent because of you're aware of what friendship means to you? Okay, wear that silver, like I said. Leo, you're dealing with control issues, right? Having to stay in control of something, or having to, you know, uh, exercise control. Okay, be in control. All right, don't be overwhelmed by, not always being in control. Virgo, you are asserting yourself to make a choice because you felt a shift and you knew something needed to be done. It's fair. Libra, you are protecting yourself from the vultures, the predators, people you may not trust, or things that you might feel like might be dangerous, okay? And you are keeping quiet as not to draw any attention to yourself, okay? Scorpio, you are putting yourself in a risky situation, but you know that you have to do it to get where you know you need to go. It's like you can't take any shortcuts. So you have to take this risk, okay? Sagittarius, you are dealing with adapting to the changes that you are going through emotionally and not making any sense to you. You might be feeling tied down by the pressures that the emotions might be making you feel, and it's not making any sense to you. It's okay. Some things don't make any sense. It's fine. Okay? Um, it will make sense when you stop trying to make sense of it. Okay? Thank you guys for liking the video. I really appreciate it. Capricorn, you're dealing with ostentation. Okay? So this is you being probably a little bit too pompous, right? You might be trying to do things on your own, or you might not be wanting anyone to get involved in what it is that you have going on. And you might be being a little bit of a bigot, perhaps. You might even just kind of like, you know, be securing things for yourself and not for other people. Aquarius, you're dealing with some drama. There might be some things that you need to not be saying, right? Or you might just need to express yourself in a very passionate way in this series of drama that you might be going through with friends. Okay, so you might Aquarius, yeah, you might actually need to verbalize something and do it from a real place in a passionate way, right? Those of you, because look at this card. I have something to say. Okay, passionately. The Leo, the lion is there. I love these cards. Pisces, you got Sun in Pisces. So you're using your intuition, you're thinking about things. If something becomes aware to you, make the choice, make the decision there. If you're sensing something, do something about it. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, you know, you got to understand that, you know, your intuition is a sense just like your ears are there to hear people communicate and say things to you, right? So then you can make choices and decisions, just like you can see that you don't need to you can't cross the street when the traffic light says that you can, just like you know you need to eat when you're hungry. You know what I mean? Listen to your intuition, it's telling you something, but also don't get too, you know, overwhelmed, or don't get too involved in everything that comes into your mind, right, or into your vision, because sometimes, you know, that sun can make things a little bit too intense, right? So you might be thinking, you might be feeling very intense or seeing very intense things in your dreams, right? Don't get too overwhelmed by that. It could be just telling you something that isn't as extreme as the dream might be depicting. Okay, so don't get too emotionally reactive. Don't get too bent out of shape. Um, just be aware of what the landscape of those dreams is showing you, right? And look at some of the bigger details of things instead of the tiny details. That was a completely different message, but you needed that. All right, everybody, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for liking the video. Follow me on Instagram, Providence Tarot. I am NYC Kendrick, personal account, and Kendrick NYC, of course, and the Tongue Pop. These cards are the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and this is what the front cover looks like. This is what some of the cards look like, right? So I'm going to be using these. They're astrology oracle cards. There's 84 of them, so there's many different aspects, right? I'm going to show you all of them. This was a long weekly or weekend. But that's because, I gave you two different versions. So I gave you a minute version on IG. So you can go over to Providence Tarot IG and it'll be a different message, right? I'm giving you more information. But this is the extended, right? And I love this card. Versatility, right? Hi, Maya. We just ended. Yeah, so whoever timestamps this first, I'll give you a past, present, and future reading. I usually don't pull cards for people during my readings because it kind of like cuts into the flow of my reading. But if that is the purpose of the reading, so maybe I'll do a live or something where I'm just pulling cards for people, whoever is there. So maybe I'll do that at some point. Oh, I miss you. I miss you guys too. I miss us. But this is it now. Um, yes, I love you guys. I'll be putting up the rest. I am well. Thank you. Thank you. I'm well, but I'm going through whatever it is I'm going through. I had a relationship that ended last summer in July, but it was kind of over before that. It was very traumatic and kind of dangerous. I'm glad I got out of that. I moved a few times in the past year. So I'm just kind of like using this time to get back to me. I'm doing a lot of inner work. There was a lot of shadow work. There was a lot of crying for months. That Mercury in that Mercury in Pisces retrograde was a lot. I'm getting out there. I'm making new friends now because at first, when I had those relationships that ended, right, within years of each other, but they were very pivotal. It was around Saturn return. That's when I started astrology and tarot. Um, I had to really sacrifice or let go of some things that I that were consistent in my life that I loved having there. And it was like everything changed. Even with the people, my jobs changed, right? Um, the place that I lived changed. Everything changed. So it was really difficult and very challenging for me. And now I'm getting past the difficulties and the challenges of all of that. And I'm moving forward and I'm doing really well. My client base is building in all different areas, right, career wise. I still have a lot of work to do, and there's a lot of things that I'm proud of that have happened. But then I have Saturn and Pluto in my first house, so I'm always feeling, and I have a Cancer moon, so I'm always feeling like there's more to be done, and that I can do more. I have a lot of Sag placements too. But anyway, I'm talking too much. I'm digressing. Maybe I need to do more lives and just get more connected to you guys in that way and, not just do the readings. But, it's all about time, and time is of the essence, and, you know, time is important, and then it's also not. All right, I love you guys. I'm going to get going because I have some stuff to do today. Oracle of the Radiant Sun. I'm feeling this. Bye, everybody.